Thank you, sir. Thank you, Chairman. And I'm thankful to the Tamil Nadu Orthopedic Association, third. And in particular, Dr. Parthiban for inviting me to this course. Dr. Dumre Patel. We check. Yeah, true. My topic is very particular, assessment of ankle fracture reduction, yet it is very important. And let us talk about how do we assess the fracture geometry, how we assess the intraoperative reduction, and can I get cordless mic so that I can go on floor, and how do we assess the postoperative reduction. Now all of us, we know why the anatomic reduction is needed. Even 1 millimeter of lateral shift will cause 42% more loading on the tibial joint. So all of us, we know these particular figures. How do we assess on radiology the congruity of the ankle joint? And even little shift in this will load the joint abnormally to cause degenerative arthritis. Now these talocrural angle and overlapping, all these values we should know to assess the radiology. Let us see how do we do it intraoperatively. Now this particular distance between the tibia and fibular medial border is important, but different literature shows different values. Again, how much they are important, we will see. Definitely, if there is no overlap on mortise view, it is going to be a diastasis, syndesmosis problem there. In this case, this is not my slides. These are borrowed from the Roger Mann's book. Now, preoperatively, when we keep these parameters in mind, how do we go about it? Preoperatively, we assess the fracture geometry after reduction. It is better to assess the geometry after reduction. When initial dislocation is there, you reduce it, and then, as we said, span, scan, and then plan. So it is better to assess the fracture geometry once you reduce it, put them in spanning fixator, and then assess the anatomy, because now you will get the good assessment of the fracture itself preoperatively. Now, let us see about this article. It is 2013 article, talks about value of CT scan in assessing the geometry. They say that it is particularly helpful in the dislocations, and particularly when there are trimalleolar fractures or we suspect the syndesmotic injury. Let us see this example, sir. This is a fracture and you decided to operate. What approach you like to take? Please see. Will you take medial approach for medial malleolus? You decide to operate. Obviously, we'll take medial approach for medial malleolus. Let us see the CT scan. Let us see the CT scan. I think very similar CT scan was shown by Dr. Balwinder. Let us see this CT scan. Now, if you take medial approach, you will never see a fracture line there. And this fracture line is so in awkward plane that you will not address this fracture line either through medial or the anterior approach. So preoperative planning, preoperative CT scan is very important. Don't take every malleolar fracture the same. Unless you assess the fracture, you will not approach it, and neither you will access it or nor you will reduce it. So it is very important when you want to assess it. And let us see how we treated it. We went by posterolateral approach and see the articular congruency then. So this is how we should even preoperatively plan how we are going to plan the reduction. Intraoperative, we can use CM, we can do direct visualization, arthroscopy, or intraoperative CT scan. Let us discuss one by one. Now, if you look at this paper which talks about the, this slide is not advancing. When we talk about the slide is not, okay. When we talk about this particular paper, which is their recent paper in 2014, how perioperative imaging, that means intraoperative and postoperative imaging is helpful. They say it is unreliable, acceptable specificity and sensitivity is low, and that's why you should depend on the direct visualization. Why? Let us see these points. This is how I have fixed medial and lateral malleolus. Everything looks great because that was direct visualization. But then intraoperatively, if you want to see, if you have plated fibula, it is very difficult to know about the posterior malleolus. So intraoperative C-arm in pictures or radiology will trouble you a lot. If you have fixed the fibula first, then visualization of posterior malleolus is a problem. So many people, they take the posterior malleolus fixation first, then medial malleolar fixation, restoration of fibular length, and then assess the ankle mortise. Let us have this example. Again, if I put the fibula plate first, posterior malleolus assessment is a problem. So I have fixed the posterior malleolus first. Here I have used the antiglide plate and direct access to the posterior malleolus. This is very important. Sentence line. Once you are assessing the reduction, if you maintain this sentence line, it is very important. Now see, this is my own case. The fibula nailing was done here for some reason of soft tissues. I could not do plate here. But look at this, medial malleolus tip and lateral malleolus tip is at same level and sentence line is broken. So this is very important in assessing the reduction. So do not only look at the fracture site reduction, even look at the sentence line because that is very important. Medial malleolus fracture, we see the reduction. Look at this fracture. This is simple fracture treated, and look at this post-operative X-ray. This is no good. So why it happened? Because the surgeon did not open the shoulder of the joint. Seeing the reduction at the shoulder of the joint is very important. And look at this paper, again recent paper which talks about the cortical reduction. Cortical reduction, they studied only 12 cases, but cortical reduction when it was anatomic, still in 7 cases when they did orthoscopy, they found the reduction was not anatomic, and in fact 2 patients they found medial impaction. So do not reduce medial malleolus only by cortical reduction, even you need to see the shoulder of the joint, and they are advocating orthoscopy. Of course we don't do it, but direct visualization is very important. Look at this was reduced nicely, but this is my again own case, treated like this. See this, the medial impaction was missed by me. So if you miss the medial impaction, again joint is not going to be good. So even pay attention to this reduction. This is how medial impaction is to be noted in preoperative. And percutaneous screw, if you are using, again be careful because only on radiology you may miss it. So direct approach to the posterior malleolus along with fibula is important. You can take a single approach, expose the fibula and posterior malleolus simultaneously and fix the posterior malleolus under direct vision. It gives you good result. Third case, again same, we have taken both posterior medial and lateral approach to visualize the joint. Third case, similar posterolateral approach along with posteromedial approach was taken in this case to visualize directly. Crux is visualize the malleoli directly to give the good result. Now syndesmotic, even look at the syndesmotic, not only the fractures. If you suspect it, treat it and reduce the fibula anatomically. Reduction of fibula anatomically is very important. That means you should see the fibula reduced into the tibial notch anatomically. That is very important. Some people talk about intraoperative 3D CT scan. I have seen them. Last one minute, sir. We have seen them used only in SI joint reduction intraoperatively, and second indication was syndesmotic. But you should keep it in mind that even alone, same limb 3D CT scan may not be useful. You may have to compare with the contralateral limb because again the positions are different. So last slide about post-operative reduction. Whenever you find poor clinical outcome, do not hesitate to reassess the reduction with axial CT scans. So in conclusion, preoperative fracture geometry evaluation is important. Intraoperative direct visualization is the most reliable method to assess reduction, and post-op CT can be done if there is poor clinical outcome. Thank you.